everybody, my name is Melissa and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite or most memorable books in the subgenre called reverse harem. This is a subgenre that is extremely niche and is one that is very hard to kind of like find really good ones. So obviously these are my personal opinions and ones that either mean a lot to me for certain reasons that I found to, like I said, most memorable, because when I think about this genre, these are the ones that pop up, because I either, somehow they were most impactful or they kind of stood out from, the mass of kind of the same types of books that are out there. I kind of like did some research and I looked at several, different websites and, what is reverse harem? Reverse harem technically is one girl and multiple guys. 3 or more guys surround this girl. It could be either in friendship, it could be where she has a relationship with 1 or 2 of them and the other one is a supportive friend, things like that. It could just be friendship as well. So you see a lot more of this kind of come up in, anime or manga. One that I have like on my shelf right now is, the Host Club. And I've read the first one, obviously haven't read the second one. This is the second one. It's one girl, she goes to this school and she's surrounded by, these group of guys and, for whatever reason, they're her friends, things like that. This subgenre definitely follows a certain, I guess, like recipe in a way to make it more believable. So normally the main character either comes from a really difficult background, could be abusive, could be homeless or something, has these extenuating circumstances where she finds this group of guys that they're going to be there and they're going to protect her. So in the harem, the guys don't actually have to, like each other. They could, honestly only be coming together for the main reason of supporting the, main character and the girl in the relationship. So it's more like a found family type thing a lot of the times. That's why I think a lot more paranormal books have it, because it just makes it more believable, I guess, and sometimes like, fated mates and things like that happen in this genre. So I ended up picking up this subgenre in a time of my life where a lot was going on. I was in and out of, doctor's offices and things like that, where I would be sitting in a waiting room and the doctor's office for like 5 hours, and just a lot was going on in my life at the time. So I needed something that I could escape and find something that would really take me out of everything that was going on, and I stumbled upon the reverse harem genre. In a way, it is kind of like a quote-unquote fantasy, because something like this is just very hard to believe that, maybe there's no jealousy and all of the above when it comes to polyamorous relationships, because it definitely takes a lot of, work to have that, in the fact that, a lot of the times in this genre, the guys are like, oh, these group of guys are okay, but anyone else, absolutely not. So enough about, explaining, what the genre is and how I got into it, but let's go ahead and talk about the books that I would suggest, or where I started off, or ones that I find the most memorable. So I'm going to start off with the author that I ended up finding this genre from, and that is C.L. Stone. The first book that I ever picked up was Introductions, which was free on Kindle, so I was like, heck yes, why not give it a try? This author writes very differently. It's very slow, more slice of life type. Each book is maybe a couple days in the life. So I think there's like only 11 or so, or only 11 books in this one series, and it only goes through a couple months. This book is about a girl named Sang, and she comes from a very, difficult family life. Her sister just has nothing to do with her. She's kind of a biatch. Her mom is abusive and agoraphobic, and then you have her father who just doesn't care and is never there and is always traveling. So they end up moving to Charleston. Her dad got a new job, so they end up moving on this street, and she's kind of just like told to be alone. She's not allowed to hang out with anyone or anything like that because of the fear her mother has about the world. So Sang is, one night she's deciding, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna, walk away from all of this, and somehow she ends up coming across a boy that lives down the street. So this is a great YA introduction. Like, I think the most that happens in these books is like kissing, and it's just so, I just love this. It obviously has a special place in my heart because of the time that I was reading it and what it did for me at the time. So the group of guys that, she ends up meeting are all friends, and they're all part of this academy, and you learn more about it and what they do. So if you are gonna pick up this book, I would definitely, read it in order, but in publication order. So she also has another series, which I honestly maybe like a little bit more, and that is the Scarab Beetle series. I couldn't remember the name. This is a new adult paced style series, and it's about a girl named Kaylee Winchester who is a thief. She's a pickpocketer, but she only goes after people who can defend themselves. It opens up where she's at the mall and she's going after one guy. These group of guys end up, chasing after her and giving her a proposition to, hey, we need your skills. Can you help us? And it goes from there. This definitely has a lot of high stakes, as well as, the other series, but just because this one moves a little bit faster and, the steaminess of it, and it has an older protagonist and group of main characters, I love this one. The next series I want to talk about, which I read around the same time, is a paranormal reverse harem book, and that's called The Vale Diaries. So it is now going to be on its 8th book. I think the next book is coming out Valentine's of 2020, so I can't wait. And I believe it's also on Kindle Unlimited last time I checked. So sometimes it's on there, sometimes it's not, but last time I checked it was. So this is about a girl named Lexi who has a certain ability to see the dead, and she ends up moving in with her uncle in this new town, and she starts at a new school, and of course finds a group of guys that are going to be her new group of friends. So these guys, they each have their different personalities, and I just absolutely loved it. This is a very slow burn series where, throughout the beginning of the series, they actually have other girlfriends or, other things going on, and it's really just based on building up their relationship as friends, which I absolutely adored because, sometimes a lot of the books, they just jump right in and suddenly, oh my gosh, like they're going at it like monkeys or whatever the heck is going on. But this definitely, really took its time to develop the plot. So it's called The Vale Diaries because the main character Lexi can see the veil, between the living and the dead. Something is going on with it, and it seems like, someone might be disturbing it in some sort of way and trying to break it down. So she is the only person that it has the ability to fix it. So this series also has witches, which may or may not be good, as well as gargoyles. And I think that one has like 2 books out, that are in the same world. I've only read some of the first book. I absolutely love this series so much. The main character, she's so quirky, so witty, just kick butt all the time, and just so strong. I just absolutely love her so much. And definitely, if you're gonna pick up any of these books that I suggest, it's gonna be the Ghostbird series or this one, because these are like my all-time absolute favorites. Unfortunately, none of these have been finished yet. The authors are still currently writing them, but I'm in love and have been devouring them since 2016, so I absolutely love it. So this next series I want to talk about, I've actually only read the first 2, even though the series is complete. It has 4 books in the series, but I do plan on continuing with it eventually. It is on Kindle Unlimited, and I absolutely love it. It's a paranormal one. This is a story about a girl who, for some reason, she only, is able to be real when she's around these 4 guys. She doesn't know anything about them other than, she only remembers herself when she's around them, because if she's not, she kind of disappears. She might be a ghost. She just doesn't really know what she is. So she knows these guys have some secrets, and they are not all good. She has such a quirky personality, and she has such these witty comments that she says, and the guys that are in the house, they can't see her, they don't know she's there, but eventually they start to notice her, and some of them pretend that she's not even there. Some absolutely dislike her, others, completely the opposite. So if you're looking for something that has a little bit of quirkiness, a little bit of wittiness, a little bit of craziness, definitely pick this series up. It's a lot of fun. even though I've only read the first 2. Cruel Black Hearts by Candace Wondrak is one that I picked up for the first time last year. It is a trilogy. I really love the first 2. The third book isn't my favorite of the series, but I definitely really enjoyed it the first 2. I believe they are very strong, opening and plot and all that good stuff. This is a dark contemporary romance or reverse harem romance. It is about a girl who is obsessed with serial killers. So she has a part-time job working at a newspaper where for some reason she's able to only write stories on, you know, serial killers, as well as having her own personal blog online where she writes about serial killers. Obviously by doing that, she is attracting serial killers and, you know, getting their attention by talking about the work that other people are doing. So this is very dark. It has very graphic scenes. You see 2 guys that are definitely not good and, you know, have their own dark demons. And then you have another guy who, you know, could be just the sweetest guy ever. So it's very interesting. I really did enjoy it. I definitely think that this author is quite underrated because I'm finding out, you know, the newer books that she has been releasing are just extremely well written and all on Kindle Unlimited, and I really have been enjoying them a lot. And I can't wait to continue on with some of her other series, but this is definitely one if you like dark romances and want to kind of go into, you know, the reverse harem that way, definitely pick this one up. It's a lot of fun. It's super easy, super quick, and again, it's only 3 books. Groupie by C.M. Stunich is actually the same author that wrote 4 Psychos, but she has 2 different, you know, names depending if she's writing contemporary or paranormal. So this is a contemporary rock band reverse harem, so there's a lot going on here, but I've only read the first book and some of the second book. For some reason I got distracted, haven't finished it. This is, I believe it is a finished trilogy, and it is on Kindle Unlimited, and I absolutely loved the first book. It definitely drew me in. It is about a girl who, for some reason, she's at this concert, she's stranded, and she ends up on the bus with this band, and they kind of like take her along with them. And if you can imagine close quarters, this band, there's definitely male aspects in it as well, and some hate to love, and just I really did enjoy it. It was definitely a ride. This author definitely brings some smutty scenes to her stories and was really great. So I don't really want to tell you too much about it because, I mean, other than needing to know it's a rock star reverse harem romance, what else do you need to know? So the next series that I'm going to talk about, I read the first one on Kindle Unlimited called Trickery, and I have read up to the very last book on audiobook. So I really did enjoy this. This is one of the ones that has been around for a very long time. It is complete. There's also another novella that follows another character in this, but this is one that's been around for quite a while, and I definitely enjoyed this one. It is a lot of fun. The main character, Willow Knight, she's super clumsy, and something happens where she ends up going and sending herself to the Blesswood Academy, which is a place where souls go to. Basically, they are kind of, you know, higher up on the totem pole than where she is because she's considered a dweller, which is kind of like the servants in this world, in a way, I suppose. So you have the dwellers, the souls, and then you have the gods. So souls end up wanting to die and become a god and, you know, have certain powers, things like that. So this is honestly just such a ride, and it was so much fun. The first book was pretty amazing, you know, reading it with my eyes and then also, you know, listening to the series as well. So Willow, being the clumsy girl that she is, somehow finds herself in the way of these brothers, and each of the brothers is actually the name of the book. So you have trickery, you have strength, you have pain. They each have these different, you know, powers that they have. I really love this book. Like I said, it's just kind of full of laughs and just a great time and just, you know, craziness that is absolutely absurd. And yeah, if you like something like that, this is definitely a fun one to pick up. The Bound Spirit series is one that I picked up last year, and I read the first 3 books, and I can't wait until the next ones are released because I really did enjoy this one. This one is probably the closest to the Vale Diaries in tone wise that I have read, and yeah, like I said, really did enjoy this. The main character, she moves into this new town with her aunt, and and she ends up, finding out that there is a ghost living in her house, which was the dead boy of the family who used to live there. So he's living there, and then you have a group of guys that were his friends that she befriends at school, obviously because she can see this guy. So unlike the Vale Diaries, where the main girl's group of guys are all human, in this series they all are a different paranormal race. You have the ghost, I think there's like Shifter, so on and so forth, Angel, Nephilim I think is another one of them. So it's different in that aspect, and I really did enjoy it. Obviously the main character, she is understanding the powers that she has and trying to figure them out, and these group of guys surround her and help her out with that. So I absolutely enjoyed this so much, and I really hope that the next book comes out soon because I just devoured them and love them so much. Their Vampire Queen is a 9-book series that actually is a lot shorter than you think it is because it's on Kindle Unlimited. They're very short stories. I was really taken by surprise when I picked this book up. I had seen it around quite a lot. Obviously it's been a while, it's completed as well, and I was just like, all right, fine, I'll try this out. Obviously it's a paranormal vampire, reverse harem story, and the main character, she finds out that she is a queen of, vampires. She didn't know this before, and basically when she's a queen, you attract, different mates and things like that are felt drawn to you. So she ends up building this very big harem, and since they are vampires, I do want to warn you that there is definitely a lot of scenes with blood, and sometimes it's not just, blood that's coming out of your neck. She is a woman, has, hormones, things like that, so there is like things that deal with like period blood. So a lot of reviews that I saw, not too fond of that, but if you can get over that, this book is definitely very steamy. It has a lot of the vampire gore that you're looking for, and just really interesting because for them being, so short and so many guys that are, become part of this harem, they have their own, story and background. There are different intricate plot points that are going on, and you also see, male-male relationships. I think a female may join the harem at some point and different things like that. So it's not just, all guys in this. This one's way more broad, but definitely deals with a lot more sensitive topics, I suppose, with, the blood. This is one that I completely was surprised by, read them all almost in like one go, and just thoroughly enjoyed them. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching my most memorable or favorite reverse harem picks. These are books and series that I absolutely love and adore for different reasons, and just definitely thinking about these books bring different, feelings and emotions to mind, and that's really why I read and all that good stuff. So if you have read any of these books or have any thoughts or opinions, I would love to chat about it, talk about it in the comments down below, and I hope you have a great day and happy reading. Bye!